정명훈 vs SK텔레콤 D1다 박명우.
Down here at the bottom, in red, it's FanTaSy. Started from the bottom.
Still at the bottom. Up here at the top, we have Dark.
I don't know if you caught this yesterday, because I know you had a really busy day yesterday, but there was this one moment where Valdez and I were casting, and I can't remember whose booth it was, but there was a fan in the audience whose reflection would show slightly in the booth, and he would always do these crazy dances while the camera was on that player.
Oh, really?
So you could just see him in the booth, and he was just dancing and going insane in his chair.
Oh, man.
And you'd see and he'd stop, and then when the booth would go back on camera, he would just go at it again. It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
Oh, are we going to see a 2-Rax proxy?
Well, let's see where the second SCV is going to go after the supply. It could actually just be a proxy Reaper on this map.
True.
So there's true power behind that because of that. The cliff just below the main can be used so well by a Reaper. And it looks like it will be that.
Yeah, you're right.
Very powerful on this map. Can just kill. Not too far forward either.
Yeah, this could get scouted. That says FanTaSy on the bottom. I don't know what the Chinese characters mean. It might mean terrorist. I don't have my resident Chinese expert with me. That'd be Valdez.
yeah. Absolutely. Just going to see that hatch first from Dark. Let's see when he gets the gas is the next indicator of how much damage he could possibly take from the Reaper. Obviously, if it is going to be gas before pool, pool's going to be even later. No Queen, no Lings to help out against it. And look at this, a second Rax.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, is he going to be able to... I guess he will be able to afford double Reaper.
This is much better than the way Maru did it, I think, because it will threaten the main base, and you can use the cliff a lot more efficiently.
Yeah, he didn't use the cliff at all, Maru.
That's the biggest problem of all, because you need that, especially when Zerg has speed. Otherwise, the Lings will just crush you, like we did see in that game.
Yeah. All right, first SCV's going to come in here. Probably get a bunker on the edge. There's an Overlord that's not close enough actually to spot if he makes it like at the very bottom. He's just going to check the timing of the pool first before he does any of that, though. Doesn't have to bunker. We do sometimes see the SCV just fight with the drones as the Reaper supports.
Yeah.
He can also bunker the natural. It's definitely possible.
Problem is it's so expensive at this point because he is invested into 2 racks. Dude.
Yeah, that's
Throwing
true.
down 100 minerals at this point is just like can be pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's not really possible. I'm thinking of it, in terms of 1 racks.
Yeah, but he still can. Maybe in the short future, getting his first drone, 4 Lings out.
Could control here by FanTaSy.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh yeah, saving that SCV as well.
Gonna have to go on creep here for a second, though. It's gonna eat some damage. He went the wrong way.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He cannot afford to lose the first Reaper.
Okay, he's gonna start regenning.
Now,
oh, the Queen. Yeah, that was scary. And now at this point, Dark's realizing this is multiple racks. This is not 1 rax. Ooh.
Got to heal up from here. Still got a high ground vision with that bunker, but it's got to cancel it. Now it gets a little bit more trickier, but he's got to micro perfectly, and he should be fine.
It's going to be 2 more Queens out in a second. I'm going to put him up to 3. Dark does not want to lose that first one, that's for sure. Okay, 4th Reaper comes in. And with 4 Reapers, you can, kill these Lings so quickly.
8 HP on that Queen. And here we go, working on the second one.
5th Reaper comes in.
Oh, this micro.
This is micro from FanTaSy.
Fantastic. Oh, gonna lose 1 Reaper, but gets a Queen for it. Second Reaper. Yuck.
That's not good.
Wants another Queen there. Queen is gonna have to commit to defense.
15 hit points on that Queen. Speed is on the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to finish. This is actually just gone terribly wrong.
Too greedy. Way too greedy as FanTaSy. Really wanted that Queen.
You could have actually just gone to the natural and regen some health and poked the drones over there.
To be fair, the damage was done regardless. Well, if he is on 13 drones against the 19 of SCVs of FanTaSy. FanTaSy making that expansion. He's looking fantastic just the same. And he's already got a block on the top of the ramp. So long as he gets these Reapers up there, he should deflect.
Yeah, he's going to lose 1 Reaper, I think. Actually, no, not even. Look at that. He's actually brave enough to even fight the Lings.
Yeah, well, they're just so slippery. And
It's
it's actually
actually
CC as well.
With the lost queens, losing so much inject potentially here as well.
Oh yeah, everything is just so much slower at this point. He's still recovering his economy, losing that many drones early on.
Creep spread between his bases even is going to take a bit of a hit from this. These 2 barracks are going to land, start producing Marines. The transition is gonna happen.
Yeah, so I wonder if he does want to go into Marines from here. Maybe a couple just to deny Overlords and help secure a 3rd base, but he could very well just go mech. And mech would be probably the right choice for FanTaSy because he is so good at it, and he's in a great position to do so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, have we seen FanTaSy, mech besides like his very recent meching? I guess he doesn't really have a history of meching too often.
He doesn't really have a history of it. No, he's a big fan of the bio. Recently, we did see it a couple of times.
Yeah, the GSL.
This is a map for it as well. So the Reapers are actually going to get cleaned up here.
Yeah, I think going mech here wouldn't be bad. He's got 2 barracks, which is kind of awkward, but he can just use those to make a few Marines, I guess, and deny scouts, and then just kind of use them to make add-ons.
Couple Marines, and then just make them add-on factories.
Add-on makers.
Add-on makers.
Dropping those mules. Economy-wise, Dark has caught up quite significantly here, but that 3rd base is trying to get out. Hellions are going to start poking it. Overlord does go down, which will supply block Dark at this point.
2 more gases on the natural for FanTaSy as well. Leads me to believe we will see that mech.
Starting to look that way. Armory coming up early as well to help with the upgrades, but also to give some early Hellbat pressure. Going to allow him to do that.
There's that Banshee. Yeah.
He doesn't have very many Hellions yet. He only has 6.
Oh, yeah.
Still enough to do some pressure. Force some Lings out, make the Queens have to run around.
And for Doc, he doesn't know for sure what it's going to be just yet, but now we do see the Roach Warren.
It's a good read on what he's seen so far, I think.
Yeah.
See those 2 barracks like sitting there without producing? He was able to see those barracks weren't making anything.
Yeah, that's actually probably the biggest tell of all. It's like, oh, you got 2 racks, you're not making a tech lab and wanted them to get a stim. Oh, well, I guess you're going back.
Yeah, like he saw nothing flashing there. Pretty good tell that this is happening.
First Banshee out. It's a pretty healthy Hellion count at this point. If they all became Hellbats, it'd be a pretty hard hold in this 3rd base.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's what's going to happen in just a second. And that's the plan here. He's trying to use some of that range that he gets with the actual, like, Hellion mode Hellions. I don't know what that mode is even called, like, just Hellion mode.
I guess it is Hellion
I guess
mode.
it's just called Hellions or Hellbats, so technically different units.
Yeah,
so.
well, Hellbat mode is the mode for the Hellbats, so
Yeah.
I guess Hellion mode is the other. Never really looked at it before.
Yeah. So, anyway, he's got that longer range. I guess the bigger thing is, like, whatever the attack is called, which I have no idea, to be honest, at this point in time.
Infernal Flamethrower.
No wonder it's called the Infernal Pre-Igniter.
I don't really know what that means either, though. Infernal Pre-Igniter means, like, it burns before he shoots or something?
I guess so.
Would that be, like, wasting your fuel?
Should just increase the attack speed, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask me. It's the guy who made it. The guy who made the name right now, I was like, oh my god, they don't like it.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we're just trying to piece these things together, you know. We're not the scientists who made this upgrade for the Hellbats, for the Hellions.
Nope. Well, this is obviously definitely mech at this point. It's very clear to Dark, is what I mean to say. And look at the supplies, actually. He's got, like, a pretty beefy army, as Dark is trying to, like, add every tech ever. He's trying to get a fast hive while he's getting Hydralisk out, which is an interesting decision.
I like it. I like it a lot. It means he'll probably go for very quick Vipers behind this. Try and shut it down with maybe some Blinding Clouds and a heavy Roach Hydra force. He's in a good position as he has identified it early enough, but he's certainly not going to do the damage that the likes of Bjorn would do, you know, going quick meter into Roach follow-up behind it. It's going to be a much more drawn-out game. And it's going to be interesting to see the kind of composition Dark wants to go for the late game after the Viper Roach Hydra attack.
Yeah.
Because it gets so much trickier after that. So much harder.
Only one upgrade at a time coming out in this Armory, which just got pointed out. And missing his Arbor upgrade. And we do have a significant amount of Banshees being made here, actually. He's going up to 5. He's adding a second starport.
I like this a lot. I love to see very heavy Banshee play when it comes to mech. I think it's the strongest style to play. Because Banshees are so good at this point, and there's no real easy way to deal with them. If you go Hydras, like, there's tanks to, like, shut down everything on the ground.
Well, we saw it. The first player to really use Banshees like in mid to late game was actually IM MVP, and he made them work for a while, but only he really did that. And he would do that even with Bio, but it's like in this version of StarCraft, you actually get the +2 attack upgrade to your Banshees as well. Like, they actually get the upgrades, and so they get stronger as the game goes on.
Oh, they become 3/3 pretty damn quick, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
And obviously, Terran are always wanting to go like Sky Terran late game, add in a ton of Vikings and Banshees, which makes, any air have that much harder of a time. Like, Corruptors are going to have a miserable time against trying to deal with them. Hydra's obviously still going to have that problem with tanks on the ground and Hellbats. Look at this. This is going to do so much damage. Is there even a response to this?
He's making Vipers.
Making Vipers.
Spore Crawler is being repositioned, and he's got a Queen over here. Queen only has enough for 1 transfuse, so she can actually just be ignored essentially at this point.
He's actually going for it, but Hydra's coming in.
Hydras.
Oh, wakey, wakey.
Wakey, wakey.
What is this? He wasn't paying attention.
I know. It's so funny. Okay. I love that. Thank you for that, Moonwig.
You're welcome.
I feel like you were saying it to me. Like, I'm like,
wake up, Wolf.
Just because it was so funny. Like, that definitely woke me up. We have Overlord drops and Overlord speed on the way. I don't know about that. That's a bit gimmicky. Where are the Corruptors, Dark?
Well, I mean, even if he wants to drop in this kind of army, like, what are you going to do against Hellbats dropping on top of them? What are you going to do against Vikings that are going to get rid of a lot of these air units before they get even close? And Banshees. I mean, sure, it might work if he gets, like, a good drop on all the tanks, but look how spread they are as well. You ain't touching this army anytime soon.
Well, I mean, like, I guess he's planning on dropping Roaches. I don't think he's going to be dropping Hydras on this.
I hope not.
Well, we'll see how this one pans out. We've never really seen someone actually try to do this in a while as, like, the answer to the mech. This is a kind of exposed CC, actually. You can get the right angle on it from the north. He's going to have to lift it.
He forgot to make a planetary on it by the looks of things. Tanks sieging up. Some of them are pretty clumped together. Nice blinding cloud on the right side. It could do some work.
I don't know how these Hellions got in here, but they're going to do some damage.
Oh, yeah.
6 drones already, 8.
Oh, that last hit. 2 more drones. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Vengeful Sacks are done. And yeah, Double Spire. Ultra's Cavern 2.
Getting everything.
He has a huge bank. The gas, he's still working on it, but minerals, he's got 3K. Everyone loves that StarCraft 2 Hydra sound.
It
like
is.
an
It's
angry
nice.
cat.
I kind of miss the old one there. Like the,
no, I know. I'm just. Yeah,
you actually. Like,
I was going too deep.
Oh, right.
It sounds like an angry cat hissing or something.
I guess it does. I still kind of sounds like peaceful, like little noise. It's not too bad. But I do miss the acidy noise that they make in Brood War.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. And look at this. We're gonna drop on the right side. Getting ready.
This is not what I expected to see, like a Doom drop.
Well, Hellions are going to see it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, those Hellions.
But, like, how's he going to respond? He's just, like, unsiege everything and go? Yes.
Yep, that's it. He's going to do it.
These orbitals are not actually the most important thing for FanTaSy to worry about keeping alive, so I guess they're going to buy some time here.
You know, he's going to force his base up. He's going to do some economic damage. He could actually DBS down these orbitals. Here comes the air units. No detection whatsoever.
Yeah, none.
Wow.
In fact, this is a really big problem. Oh, God, he's going to siege up and do so much damage. Pulls the siege tank in.
Yeah, that's about it.
A blinding cloud on, like, 1 tank.
Unsure if worth.
I don't think so.
He didn't kill an orbital either. Getting rid of SCVs at this point, probably a good thing for FanTaSy, actually, because he wants to make that bigger death ball, and he's got enough orbitals to make enough mules.
Yeah, I don't think this is worth it.
At the very least, he can kind of remax on tier 3 units like Ultras, and he's going Infestors as well.
What would have been really cool, I think, is if he just dropped half of that and then attacked the 4th base at the same time.
Yeah, that would have been cooler. That would have actually been more efficient as well.
Especially because it's impossible to tell how many things are in those Overlords, and FanTaSy pulled everything. Well, Kaitina's play, he's about to finish up. You're going to have some like decent, you know, tanky Ultralists coming out here. 4 of them already on the map. 4 Infestors to support as well. But, I don't know, man. That was pretty expensive what we just saw there.
Oh, man, there's so many Queens, by the way. Like,
there are 15 on the map.
These Ultras will be immortal. They will actually be immortal. Unless there's enough tanks to one-shot them.
Need to get some ghosts on the map, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, man.
EMP those Queens.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'd like that.
I don't know if we've ever seen that before, but just thinking about it.
That'd be cool. You really got to, like, see ahead of what's coming, though, if you want to go into Ghosts against Zerg, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you could also EMP the Infestors, too, right? Like,
sure.
And snipe.
Oh, look at these Infestors. That's not good. Oh, good transfuses.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, these Zerg units are basically going to be immortal. Whichever ones he T-clicks, man, coming back.
Yep, as long as he T-clicks. There, I mean, looking at the front of this 5th base.
That's the official term.
What, T-click?
Yeah, T-click.
That's all I know, man. No. That's about 20 tanks just waiting behind a planetary. So I don't even think Immortal Ultras will break it.
No. Ravens got nerfed, but they're still decent. Like,
oh yeah,
switching to air might be like the way for Dark to kind of break this. I think.
I think so.
Like he's gonna have to trade this army before he can do that. So yeah, I think he's just trying to wait until he has a bit better bank.
Yeah, going into just Banshee, Viking, Raven would be so strong against us. Raven, like big Raven balls late game still work.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the PDD doesn't last as long. So what? It still does what it needs to do. It still absorbs the same amount of damage when it matters.
Exactly. It's going to force the Zerg out of position because they're going to want to retreat from it unless they have enough sort of DPS to DPS them down.
With these queens, man, who knows? They might.
They actually might. That's true. That's actually a ridiculous amount of queens.
He's now got 17 queens.
Yeah. And, you know, the Fungal's also going to do a lot of work against Sky, sort of Terran. It's a tricky composition to fight against, that's for sure.
High-sec auto-tracking, +3 armor, all these things on the way.
The thing is, though, that FanTaSy actually doesn't have to do anything. Because he's got all the bases he needs for late game. He's got 5 bases. You can just sit there as a Terran on 5 bases, maxed out, and just build that bank up and make sure you got the right production for whatever you need to make.
He's actually chasing 2 Hellions. I just want to, can I just like say something? He's chasing 2 Hellions with 5 Infestors, 6 Ultralists, and 17 Queens.
Now you know the power of 2 Hellions in the late game with mech. Because when they have +3, they can 2-shot drones.
Yeah.
It's scary, man. We've seen a lot of Zerg players go down just to that.
I just feel like making some spines might be a good idea.
Yeah,
he's got a few actually around.
Some around. Some bases are a little more undefended than others.
This Banshee squad, FanTaSy famous for this now, is gonna wreck this hatch. How many Banshees does he have actually? Can you check that?
I'm currently sitting at 7.
It's pretty good.
That's a lot of DPS.
He ran away because he wasn't sure where the Infestors were.
Yeah, very smartly so.
He's actually gonna siege this up and finish it off with just a few volley of +3 siege tanks.
Yeah, he does not want to allow this base to get up. He needs to mine this event eventually.
I really feel like Dark's plan is to just do a massive air switch by building a bank. I don't think he has anything else on his mind. He is getting the +2 armor for air, and he could probably actually start that +3 for attack for that anytime soon.
He could definitely do so. Maybe that Broodlord switch might come into play. Maybe Broodlord Corruptor or something.
Oh, he sees there's a few siege tanks missing over here because they're attacking the other base.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to hold this.
Oh, he's going to lose it. But there's a lot of Banshees here. He needs Fungals to finish those off.
He needs to start targeting down the Queens and Hydras at the back, I think, and let the Banshees clean up everything else.
Yep. I think that's the way to handle this. Oh, God, this is just like...
Oh, wow. Look at that composition.
Blow for blow fight here, but with the Hydras and the Fungals, he's actually going to win this fight.
Yeah, those Fungals were beautiful. And look at that bank of Dark. Still...
He hasn't remade anything
insane.
yet.
No, he doesn't even have to.
He doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He's like waiting to see how this plays out first. 28 mutilus.
Wow, okay.
No Thors really on the map.
So Thors is at what, 6 Vikings right now? Easily done. He might lose the rest of his army there. It's getting kind of messy here.
I think he's okay with losing it.
Yeah. That just means more mutas, right?
Yeah.
42.
Is they're going to fight Siege Tanks and Queens. Dark must, rather FanTaSy must realize what's happening, right? Like, it's like, oh, I guess he's just fighting me and throwing away everything.
Well, you know what? He's making nothing but any ground right now as well. 5 tanks, 2 banshees.
I guess he just doesn't realize what he's up against. He doesn't realize the bank. When he sees these
he's going to see, like, the death flock. 2 2-meter death
it's
flock.
like the monkeys that fly across in Wizard of Oz. The flying monkeys,
Except
man.
these ones actually shoot stuff and kill everything.
This is going to actually be the end of FanTaSy, I feel. He doesn't have enough time to make answers for this. 4 Thors on the way.
He's got a lot of Vikings, and he's got a bunch of turrets. So
I guess, yeah, he could hang in here for a bit longer.
A little bit longer, but yeah, he needs Thors out ASAP. His mutas are going to trade for days, and more mutas coming across the map.
Banshees are like cloaking and running away.
They might as well try and counterattack.
Look at all these siege tanks he's sending to just try to do something, but it's not going to work.
No,
it's drawing the attention away, but...
Oh, that is so many mutas.
It's actually ridiculous.
There are 36 mutas right now. More on the way. Staying maxed out. He can still afford like another 24 of them as well.
More Thor shots coming in here, and maybe some PDD is going to help out a little bit.
Teeny bit.
Help save some Banshees. This is just the end of this game, I think. Just taking way too much damage.
3 Thors come out. If they get like the magic shots on them, maybe something can happen. Like if he puts them all in 1 pixel and the Thors get all the shots off and he loses like 200 supply in a second.
He'll just remake like 20 more Banshee or 20 more
He
meters.
just goes like back into ultras and makes 20 ultras. Like, I guess it'll happen like that.
This is what you were talking about. One Hellion gets 9 kills in total.
Yep. They are kind of ridiculous when they get +3.
Yeah. Well, he scans here. He's trying to figure out, like, is it feasible for me to move across the map with Banshee Thor? So that's kind of what he's got. He's got 5 Thors and 7 Banshees.
Yeah, he probably wants to wait for like 3 more Thors or something. I think he can just DPS down this planetary.
Yeah.
If he wants to.
I don't think any of those Ravens have secret missiles or anything like that. That could definitely deter this. Okay, Ultras and Hydras too.
Going with that fungal. That's still a lot of Thors. If they turn around and shoot on a chunk of mutas, they could get DPS down pretty quick.
A lot of mules here to help repair if they were actually doing it, which they're not.
Still, it's going to be too much.
Yep. It's going to be the end of this. Oh, well. He's not remaxing yet, Dark.
I think
so
he just wants to enjoy the fight. He's like, I got all the time in the world. I'm going to watch everything blow up.
Some Zergs just like to watch the mech burn.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And Muta's still enough left to deal with these Banshees. We should see this game closed out, but there is that FanTaSy GG timing as well.
Yep. Hessy's famous for.
Famous for the GG timing. No really coming back in this one. He's going to try, though. He's muling up his newly planted base in the middle there.
Got a few Hellions like harassing around the map, but I think those are pretty much eliminated now at this point. And 34 supply. I think it's time for game 2. Tough loss here for FanTaSy, but put up a good fight. GG. Dark just ready for that air switch. He just like didn't. He made sure that FanTaSy.
Dead Pixels FanTaSy 정명훈 vs SK텔레콤 T1 박영우.
In the bottom right in red, it's FanTaSy.
Top left, Dark. Showing the Zergs everywhere how it's done against Mech in the late game.
Really impressive play. And let's talk about this map a little bit, like looking at the layout of it. Third base, not too far away to take as a meching Terran. It's totally possible. It's not like a freebie close base. It's like medium difficulty, I would say, to take.
Medium difficulty, yeah.
Yeah. The third base for the Zerg is the same sort of degree of difficulty. But Zerg, of course, has to rely on creep spread a lot more. And we do see, like, with Hellion pressure and Banshee pressure, it becomes a bit difficult to spread that creep out there.
That is very true.
And we saw just in the previous series, Biel was not really feeling trying to take a fast third. Just trying to go lair here. Fourth base is, like, really far, you know, just in general, but...
It's one of the bigger problems, but you know, it's not impossible for a Terran to hold that. If you get a planetary down there, a couple of tanks there, you can hold off for a while. I don't know. FanTaSy's really comfortable going for the mech style on this one.
Well, he's going for a CC first, which is unexpected.
Mixing it up.
I did not imagine we'd be seeing that. And grab those minerals first. Always feel better, you know, with your CC build when you got some money in your hand.
Bad peace of mind here.
Yeah.
You know, bit of security in the bank.
Yeah, you know, just in case, no matter what happens, if things go sour, like if 2 Lings run in and you got to run away from that CC, at least you got some minerals to, like, to escape.
Yeah,
with.
you got a reason to go home as well, so you can put those minerals in the bank.
Yeah, you got to go back and, like, you know, use that money to feed your family for a little while.
Yeah,
so you find a more stable job.
I guess it would feed your family for a while, minerals. Like, when you think about, like, what they make, like, they must be pretty valuable.
Sure, like I would say, like, 5 minerals could be worth, like, maybe 5K.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about
maybe
it, like,
even 50. Like, let's be real. How much do you think those siege tanks cost?
Yeah, how much does like a marine suit cost that you have to put in there? It's like totally functional with a working helmet and everything else.
I would think that'd be, you know, like,
plus the rifle.
A lot of money. $50,000.
Yeah, maybe 50,000 for 5 minerals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'd say about 50K. So you just got to add, like, you got to multiply by 10,000 every mineral you get for you want to put that in the USD.
It's kind of weird though, because the bigger the unit, it doesn't get that much more expensive. Like 150 for a tank, but then you get like 400 for a battle cruiser, which is like this insane spaceship that has so many people on board. So you like kind of wonder, like, it's not that expensive.
Yeah, battle cruisers should just be more expensive. They should just be even less viable.
They should be like 2,000 minerals when you think about it. In the grand scheme of things.
They should also be to scale.
Yeah, I think so, Wolf. I think we're onto something here.
I think the whole game needs to be rescaled.
It needs to be rescaled.
I think we need 13 more years on StarCraft 2.
It needs to be more logical. I think, Wolf. That's what we're looking at here.
Yeah. Oh, I totally feel you.
Yeah.
By the way, this
who cares if it's fun or not? Let's just make it real.
Realism, the most important thing. Speaking of realism being the most important thing, those crickets, man.
Oh,
the frogs.
Why'd you have to tell me about them, Wolf? I didn't want to hear them. now it's the only thing I can hear on this map.
Oh, look at this early Roach Warren, by the way. I was like too enthralled by our like economy discussion. I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, it's actually could do very well a lot of damage, considering what we have so far from FanTaSy. He's even got a reactor on his racks and a tech lab on his factory. That means, are we going to see an early tank? Yeah, whoa.
Safety tank.
Now this is... How did he know this? How did you know this, FanTaSy? I think he just feels it. He has nothing to really give away the fact that it could be roaches early on.
I guess he just knows that like the map is kind of short and he
knows the player maybe a little too much. It's like, well, it's dark, and Dark always loves to go for roach timings when he can.
He's going for a fast third CC also. Like, I think this is a fairly... I mean, I'm not going to say that it's common, but people do it every now and then.
It's definitely something that happens, and most likely it would be used against someone going for a CC first, but...
It's going to pay off. He needs to get repairs on that bunker, though, and there he goes.
Wow.
Dark splits his roaches really nicely. Only loses 1 roach.
Yeah, but still, man, he invested so much into roaches from here. That's such a big investment, and to find no return whatsoever. Very bad start to the game.
He's actually down in Harvesters, and he's against the Terran on 3 CCs.
And we are going to see mech again from FanTaSy. Just loving this style.
Second factory.
I dare say he's much more ahead than last game as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Though the roaches at least will kind of soft contain.
Yeah, and these Hellions are so smart. That's so cool because he's just checking. He's like, are you doing like a big roach attack? Or are you doing roach baneling? Like, what do I need to worry about next? And then he just sees, oh, okay, you just are transitioning back home. And let me go to your base and see exactly how you're doing that. Do you have a third base yet? No. Okay. Just getting all the info. with these 2 Hellions. You give FanTaSy 2 Vultures, man, he's just gonna do anything with them. You give him 2 Hellions, he's starting to learn how to use them. Spire.
When they have +3, they can do magical things.
Yeah.
All right, Fast Spire. Good idea. Maybe we'll see a very similar style to what Biel usually does because he already has that Roach tech. He already has kind of identified that it is going to be mech again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty safe assumption, I guess, at least.
Scan reveals the Spire this time. He didn't do what Biel did and hit it.
The money scan. Should be pretty damn prepared for this as well. Look at that. Getting rid of that cooling tower with those Hellions as well.
Well, he's just going to go straight Thor from here.
That's a good idea. Look at this. The Thor Banshee. I love this style. I think it's much more stronger than what we did see from Maru in his game.
And he already made a tank earlier. Does he have a second tank? I think he just made 1, right? Yeah, just for 1.
Just 1 so far.
So he's got that too for like some extra safety.
He's got 2.
Okay, so he's golden. Like he's got 2 tanks. He can go straight into Thor from here. Trying to find some Hellion harass. Unfortunately, gets shut down. But if he hadn't, I could have done a lot of damage. It also keeps Dark a bit occupied while he's trying to secure this third. The cooling tower, as you said, being focused now as well.
All right, 5 meters on the way. No turrets up so far. Maybe soon.
2 on the way. 3. Okay. Ooh, finding some drones. Just 1. 2. Just wants to scout, I guess. Man, that 1 Hellion probably wasn't going to get any more kills. Guess saving it, not necessarily worth it.
Now, we're actually seeing Ling speed and 1/1 Lings, funnily enough. So it doesn't look like he will be using these Roaches for any sort of aggressive plays for now. Just maybe going into the late game. Maybe similar sort of style that we see last game as well, if you see a lot more Queens being added.
Yep.
Just upgrade those Ultras as much as you can.
He's just not going to find much of anything here. The Banshees were dangerously close to taking like a little bit of damage, like this Viking. Even the Viking escapes. A great position for FanTaSy in this game. He needs to be like very careful about scouting out what the next move is for Dark here. But
that's the biggest thing of all.
As long as he can do that, he's got everything he needs to transition into that maxed out.
Oh yeah,
he
is looking so good for the late game. Might even attack soon before then. You know, 5 factories currently. Just mass Thor on the way. The Banshee. We could just see, you know, that Thor Banshee timing as well. I mean, he just gets enough, brings a ton of SCVs, and just tries to crush before anything can be done about it.
Yeah. These 2 Hellions denied a 4th base. And that's obviously going to really hurt Dark. He needs to get that 4th base up. He needs to get all that extra gas so he can do those tech switches like we saw him do last game. He's got a Hive on the way. Look at all the upgrades he's getting. He's +2 armor. He's getting +1 attack. He's getting Hydra's range, Roach speed, everything all at once. Mulas find like little spot here where they can poke at Depot. Not too much damage being done here. A few Hellions will try to get a run by here, and actually this time they might succeed. Nope, Roaches spot them as soon as they're on creep. And ward them away. Cloak on the way. That Thor Banshee timing starts to sound pretty good right now.
Sounds legit, right? Like, I think it would be probably in his best interest to do so, considering how far he is ahead, how much he's been on equal economy, and how he deflected that Roach attack early on. It set Stark behind so much. He just keeps doing a lot of Hellion harass, feeling out the army, seeing what he can do. He's getting a pretty nice Banshee count, tank count as well at this point. He's already got the Thors he needs.
Hydra speed on the way now. Just continue to produce those Overlords to be closer to that max out supply. We can pump out a ton of units. There's no creep spread actually at Dark's main, which is kind of funny. It's not going to matter too much, I guess, versus mech, but something to keep in mind. It's just, you know, this is like a bit of a passive game that we're seeing here. No big engagement whatsoever.
Absolutely. Very, very slow paced. It's just pretty much FanTaSy building up off 3 base. Adding a 4th command center now, but he doesn't really have to do anything. He just has to make that army that's going to crush whatever's going to come at him.
2 more drones going down here, the Hellions. 2, 3.
This is going to do a lot. It's going to do a lot.
There's Mutalisk over there is kind of trying to figure out where they're even supposed to be. 9, 10, 11. Way too much drone kills here.
Yeah, very slow response from Dark. All his units are in the middle of the map. He has nothing else to really defend.
He was like focusing on his Banshee, or rather on these Mutalists. Let's kill one Viking, but lose all of his Mutalists here. And Dark does not have that bank yet to be losing units like this, losing drones like this.
No, look at the bank of FanTaSy compared to Dark at this point. Dark is still essentially on catch-up. He's been on catch-up this whole time. It's definitely a much harder game to come back into than the game on Vani. Scans go down, sees a good chunk of the composition. Sees Vipers as well.
And when you have this much of a bank, you can actually use like almost all of your mules on scans. And you're not worried about that bank right now. You can be a little more flexible with that orbital energy.
Yeah, he just needs to get that that Viking count up so he can start one-shotting these Vipers before they get down those blinding clouds. And he's going to secure this 4th base, and it's essentially going to be completely left alone. And it makes things so much harder for the Zerg when Mech gets in those 4 bases at 8 gas. It's just game goes for that much longer.
Yeah. This peaceful background music now is driving me crazy.
Not a fan, man. Not a fan at all.
It would be great for like a swamp map.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's meant for a swamp. Not a Ire map or a Zelnaga map. Needs to be an eerie sound, like the sound you hear. Have you seen the movie Star Trek? I think it's called Into Darkness.
Is that an older one?
It's the one with Cumberbatch in it, the latest one.
Oh no, I have not actually.
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I'm a Star Wars guy, like super hardcore, but Star Trek, like I never got into it. Not to say that it's bad or anything. I just like I want to get into it. I just don't. I haven't found the time.
When they're on the Klingon homeworld, just for reference.
Yeah, sure. Just finish it out.
They're on the Klingon homeworld. They have like this really windy sort of like sound of like there's just like this air noise constantly. It's like this really like hellscape sort of place, and it really matches like what maybe this map could be like. It's like this eerie sort of map.
Yeah.
It's not really. It's not really a swamp. I hope you watch it one day, but it's nothing like the old ones. It's like.
Sure, yeah, I gotta check it out. You know, everyone's recommended that to me. Maybe I should just do this tonight, man.
Do it tonight, man.
This is my homework now.
Do it tonight.
Sounds
great. Check it out. You can watch if you have. Did you see the first one?
I actually have not seen anything.
Oh. All right, watch the first one first.
Okay.
Get a feel for it. It's a good one as well.
I heard it was like really good. Everyone gave me really good reviews on it.
I hope they keep making them because they've just been a lot of fun to watch.
Banshees could have killed a hatch. Looks like he wants to keep the element of surprise up. Never mind, he changed his mind. I was like, I guess maybe he wants to like just fly by so he can get better damage done later.
Maybe it just doesn't make sense.
What is that? Oh, it's a
flying locust upgrade.
Whoa, I've never even seen that before.
Yeah, no one makes them. Okay, looks like Doc's gonna dabble. He's gonna step outside the comfort zone here.
We are gonna see an attempt in Korea.
This is the first time.
This is the first time.
Look how fast those Swarmers run as well. It's so funny. They're like little speedlings, man.
He's going to try this. Okay, get everyone in this stream right now. We're going to see if Swarmos are viable.
Yeah, we need people to tweet this out. It's time to test the balance of this game once again. Will we find anything with these flying locusts? Maybe, maybe not.
The funny thing is he's doing this time, but last game he was able to find a win without even touching it, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a little trickier this time around. I mean, look at the Sim City of FanTaSy and his 4th base. The scans go down, sees everything.
Yeah, except those 2 Swarmos. I don't think he saw those, but I don't think he cares.
Well, it looks like he's going to wait for the flying locusts. I don't know if FanTaSy's going to give him that time. He's kind of setting up to split the map in half.
The upgrade seems to take a long time, actually, to finish. 160 seconds?
Yeah, 160 seconds.
That's almost as long as an attack upgrade.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it makes a big difference, though, at the very least.
All right, he's going to trade in here. Coming in with a ton of Ultras at the front with a lot of transfuses to back them up. The Siege Tank's a bit out of position, but he doesn't want to decide to commit too much here.
He's just buying a little bit more time.
Flying Locust upgrade nearly done.
Nearly done.
What is that upgrade called? Is it called Swoop or is it just called? It's literally called Flying Locust.
Flying Locust Swoop. That'd be an interesting name for it.
Nice catch on these Vikings.
Yeah, that's actually really important.
Saves the Viper as well.
He needs those Vikings for the Flying Locusts, man. I think he lost one of the Swarmers.
Cruppers are on the way.
He lost both of the Swarmers. Looks like we're not going to see Flying Lucas after all. Oh, well. Probably for the best. They probably like just get hard counted by like a couple of Vikings or something. Like, well, that was a letdown.
Well, this Ultras army is actually trying to circumvent the Terran army yet again. There's a lot of transfuses. It's actually going to get through one planetary. It's actually going to want to get out of here, I guess, if he wants to save the Ultras. If he wants to trade them out for better supply than I get, or different supply, I should say, then.
He's looking to fight. He got some blinding clouds down on a bunch.
He needs more fungals on these Banshees, and he's going to get them.
Running low in energy on these Queens, at least some of them. Oh, he didn't get the planetary either.
Oh, boy.
Oh, big investment. Not much return.
Broodlords.
Nice change. I like this a lot. He did get those Vikings after all.
Really sad we didn't get to see Flying Locust, man.
Yeah, the Flying Locust upgrade finished as the last almost died. It's tragic. It's so tragic.
But with the wipe on the Banshees and the Vikings, you know, starport time has to be shared now, and he's going to get Corruptors and go into Broodlords. I think Fantasy's starting to realize this as he's adding more. These, did he add a fusion core? I could have sworn I saw that, but I don't know why he would add that at this point.
Fusion core. Let me have a look around here.
Doesn't look like it. I guess I must have been seeing things on the production tab.
None just yet.
That hatch goes down without a cancel. 300 metal is not the biggest deal at this point. But.
All right. He sees the Broodlords. He knows what's up. Everything's pulling back.
Banshee's so important. He's actually getting so much static defense to help protect his drones against Hellions as well. This is actually a great game here that we're watching.
Yeah, it's actually going the distance again. FanTaSy giving us some great games over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Dark, I love the way Dark approaches mech. You know, he really wants to go the distance. A lot of Zergs will just try and kill early on. But Dark is very confident in his late game.
Yeah, he doesn't feel timid at all. Like, he knows what he's doing. Toss these Ultras for some more supply, it looks like, in air. All that static defense he added here didn't end up helping him out too much.
Very smartly from FanTaSy, you know, splitting his army up, taking down more hatcheries, because he knows Broodlords are on the map and he can't fight this army head on.
Yep.
He might actually use these Thors for like their high impact
payload. Yeah, I think
that'd be the way to do it.
Yeah, I think that we might see that. This is a crazy game. There are only 5 Vikings on the map versus 21 Corruptors. That's something he's definitely going to have to change. We're starting to see Ravens be added.
Only 5 Broodlords on the map too, mind you. Keeping the count pretty low because he knows they can be pretty hard counter when the when the Viking count gets high enough. Instead, just overcompensating with anti-air to deal with that kind of army.
Yeah. Oh. Just keep swapping between tabs here so much I have to like keep looking at your computer, keep looking at mine to see what's being built. There are going to be a total of 7 Ravens on the map once these 3 finish. It's not a massive count yet, but look, he's getting durable materials and Corvid Reactor is starting to realize like this game is going the way of reality versus Silky.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see that base trade. You can see it pause.
Well, he's going to start to grab some of these, but needs to be careful.
Yeah, he cannot get fungled. If he gets fungled, it's horrible. So many Thors to back up these Vikings there. Currently 7 Thors is waiting.
He's actually getting a good position on this planetary, though. He needs to, you know, be careful.
Oh, Secret Missiles.
Oh, Secret Missiles.
Got to split up.
Oh, whoa!
Damn.
For somebody who's known to be the master of Corruptors, that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, he's got enough transfuses to heal them all up to hell.
He needs to move them.
There we go. You got to stop transfusing them. Some of them are in such red.
And even these, you know, these Banshees over on the left side of the map are starting to get some serious damage done to that hatch. Might actually lose that 9 o'clock base. Blinding Cloud's here.
Queen's getting a little too close as well.
Oh boy, Fantasy is just taking really good engagements here. He's actually just out fighting Dark at every turn. He's actually confident enough to chase this army at this point.
This is a bad engagement as well. He's got to start transfusing everything. Everything getting so low.
How many Corruptors does he even have left? Not very many at all.
5 currently. He's going hardcore into a ground army again to try and crush what's left on the ground. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So many of these siege tanks are very low. They're very much in the red.
There's like 40, 50 supply in air at this point, and a lot of it will not touch ultras. And here we go. Ultras are out. We start chasing everything down. Queen's a while away though, so transfuses are not available.
Yep. And look at this. It's going to turn and fight with these 3-3 siege tanks and Thors. Dark is taking some really bad engagements, and his gas bank is now down to nil. He's going to have to take some really good ones coming up here, or he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, maybe more Ling additions as well.
Yeah, something.
Well, there's just no, there's no. Ooh, look at that. Keep him alive there.
Those are so expensive. Like, that's all he just spent his bank on. He can't throw those away.
Yeah. There's no actually Hellbats anymore or Hellions whatsoever, so he can't afford to just go into heavy Ling to help tie up these Thorn tanks. Once again, bottom left base getting shut down. Wow. This is like really powerful Banshee play.
FanTaSy is playing so well this game. The guy has definitely improved a lot suddenly, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's become so good. He can actually deal with his base as well if he wants to. He's going to try and man mode.
Yeah, he's just going to force the spore down. Can actually now get a good angle on that hatch.
3-3 Banshees
like,
are powerful.
Yeah, he's just like, scans, he's like, all right, that spore's gone, I'm going to try to go for it. Like, we were talking about this earlier, Banshees get those attack upgrades, and they're really strong. It used to be split. It's hard to imagine a world like that. That's why we didn't see mech very much back then. What's the next step here for Dark? Like, he needs to take good trades to build a gas bank.
I think he can just find a good position on this army. He's got the composition that can deal with everything that's shown, so long as it's not all sieged up. He just gets a nice surround with, Ling Ultra from every side, decent transfuses, and decent fungals on the Banshees. The Queens will deal with them.
How many fungals does he... Okay, it's 3 infestors.
3 infestors. He's got about 6 fungals up.
Yeah.
Next thing Dark really needs to focus on is securing the bottom left and the top right bases.
Top right is about to lose.
Yeah, these Banshees have been doing way too much damage to them. And a big counterattack on a base down south. Only get a view of that in a sec.
With only 2 corruptors on the map, dealing with these Banshees seems just impossible.
There we go.
There you go. That base goes down, so a base for a base, I guess. Going to kill a lot of SCVs too, which is going to, again, free up supply for FanTaSy.
Oh, Fungals.
Fungals, where were they?
If he was awake, he could have killed so many.
Wakey.
And Wakey once again. Players are sleeping during these games.
Well, at this point, I mean, these Thors, or not Thors, Ultras down there, they're getting some serious damage done, but the bigger issue is this army. Like, can he ever deal with it? Can he ever stop it? Oh, this whole time the Queens haven't had +3. It's just now getting +3. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of a big deal.
Tanks and these Ultra and Lings down below trading so efficiently.
Yeah, this is like the most efficiency you're ever going to get out of a Ling Ultra in this part of the game.
Now it's like Hellbat's trying to take down an Ultra as well. Like, not going to happen for a long time until the tank comes.
Actually sneak some Lings over here as well. Get these SCVs that are just idling, sitting there.
Yeah, I'm glad we're seeing Lings being added in at this point. We're seeing that more Life-esque style to deal with mech. He loves his heavy Ling counterattacks and trades.
Banshees are going to be what he wants to help defend this. This is going to do so much to help him out. He's actually going to lose his expensive Ultralist here if he's not very careful. In fact, I'm not sure he can even save them at this point. Well, this is actually a really close game still.
Could really go
FanTaSy's
anyway.
Position.
Oh, Ultra's getting shut down.
Yeah, it's expensive. He can't afford to lose those. He's got 86 gas. FanTaSy has 2,200.
He's kind of running out of steam at this point.
All right. Moving now towards getting some of these middle bases down. And FanTaSy has finally cleared up the creep up to the top right, so he wants to take that base. Huge Ling attack's going to go over there and deny it, though. And FanTaSy is just kind of trying to push his way through the middle here. But he knows he can't overcommit through the middle. Not yet. Yeah, he's just got to be very careful.
Yeah, he's going to remain sieged up, spread out, and there's no real way for Dark to engage on this unless he gets like the really good lightning clouds. There's only 1 Viper currently as well. Can do 2 blinding clouds though.
FanTaSy's just got an army size that's much bigger than Dark's. Like, his 30 army supply up because he has only 24 SCVs. All of his army has to be together, though, to fight this, but Dark has to just kind of try to avoid this army. The funny thing is, it feels like FanTaSy is the one who's avoiding Dark's army and killing bases, whereas Dark just kind of sitting there with his army, not sure what to do next, because it's so hard to actually fight this.
It's such a hard engagement. Now he's really committing to defending the bottom left. He has to do this, but tanks are sieged up in such an awkward place.
Yeah, and no fungals on these Banshees. Where are they? He needs those. If he could get those, that would be his way back into this game. He's going to have to give up this base.
Yep.
One of his most important bases right now.
One of his only mining bases.
One of two, really.
Yeah.
He's remaking the base in the middle, but it's not up yet. Gonna siege for this, and oh, Dark looks like he's just had enough. He's gonna go for it, but I just cannot imagine this being a good situation for him ever in any way.
No. If he gets some decent transfusions off on these ultras, maybe he can keep them alive so we can deal with a chunk of them.
The Banshees aren't even here. Wait until they come back.
It's gonna get a lot harder. The Hydra Queen is getting lower in number.
GG.
Wow.
FanTaSy ties it up.
Game of stamina that game. And FanTaSy, yeah, playing it very smartly for the map. It's such a hard map to engage on because there's so many choke points. And the Banshee control, the Banshee rotations to deal with all these bases, just beautiful. Now, do you hear the eerie noise on this map?
Yes.
Is that the actual map or is that the sound, music?
I think it's the music.
Can't remember.
I think it's the music. We'll figure out in a few moments as the music starts to like progress.
It's actually a horrible sound.
It's terrifying.
It's like not good. It's not good. Oh well.
It's like a fiddle or something being played in the background.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like Five Goes West fiddle spider thing that happened. I don't know if that means anything to anybody or if that was just like my childhood.
The what? What happened to you?
There's like this like fiddle that plays as like a spider would chase the character Fievel in Five Goes West. It's terrifying to me as a child. I mean, not like terrifying to where I'd be scared of, but I just remember being like, that was one of the scary parts of the
It's like an
movie.
eerie sound.
Yeah.
Like you probably, I don't know, it probably happened in like Lord of the Rings when Frodo's fighting that spider.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. You know, I'm sure it's the same sort of music. I guess there's just no ambient sound on this map.
Yeah, I guess not.
Just the song.
Very calm.
I want Brood War songs back, man.
Well, you know, I actually have talked to a lot of people about this in like production. Not only here at SPO TV, but also other companies, and like I've talked to the observers. Like Heaven, for example, the famous observer from Calm TV.
Right.
I talked to these people about it. I said, well, why don't you guys use the Brood War sounds on their back? And they always just said, we just don't think it sounds as good. I'm like, but I mean, just every now and then mix it up. You know, and they're like, no. And that's usually the answer I got. I'm not too enthusiastic about it.
Interesting.
And maybe also that Blizzard wants them to use the StarCraft 2 sounds. I even like the idea of playing totally like outside of the client background music. Like
really?
Whatever music that the production wants to play, make their own soundtrack for the game. I think that's also totally cool.
I don't know. That kind of, I feel it loses a lot of authenticity.
I guess to a certain extent, yeah.
I mean, we have never seen a tournament really do that before.
No one ever has. But I'm open to the idea. I'm not saying it should be that way. I'm just saying I'd like to see it, tried.
Kind of makes it like a bit more of like a streamy sort of show. Like streamers will play their own music.
Yeah. Well, I definitely wouldn't want them to play like punk music or like something like that while we're watching this. All right, here comes that Reaper. Just gonna do this thing. He's actually committing to a second Reaper. And we'll see if he gets any kills. Probably not. That's just how the early game in TvZ goes.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot from FanTaSy as well in the past. Standard sort of opening for him will be the 3 Reaper into Hellions.
Yep.
Good map for it too. That third base is a bit of a mission away. It's not easy to take. Apply a lot of pressure early on.
Queen coming to ward this off. Second Reaper comes in. He's actually going to pull that Reaper out. I think he might lose it. 1 health left.
Wow.
So frustrating as a Zerg to see something like that too. You're like, it's just going to go get it all back.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I blink under Mutalisk and they get away. I'm like, they're all going to go back. So, Kanata went to the bathroom again today. I don't know if you know this, but yesterday one of the series went a bit long, and Kanata just couldn't help it. He had to go to the bathroom. He kind of announced it. Everyone made a big deal and applauded when he left and came back.
That's pretty funny. Well, I'm glad the Korean commentators do that too. You know?
Because we do that all the time. I was talking to Brendan with this yesterday. I'm like, we do this all the time. You guys just don't know.
Well, it's like sometimes, like a best of 5, especially with no breaks in between. Like that's ruthless. That it really is a long time, especially if it's going to be fantasy going mech most games.
Yeah, we might have to pull a Kanata a little bit later. I'm on my 3rd bottle of water today.
Damn, you drank them fast.
Yeah.
Man on a mission. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so seeing no add-on on the racks so far, and there's the starport. So at least it's going to be Hellion Banshee to begin with, I believe.
Yeah. And we've seen a great success in the past on this map. I feel like the 3rd base on this map is better to take than on Echo. Just a little bit closer.
Yeah.
It's similar, but it's like a little bit closer.
Creeps are almost there already, so it is a lot easier to defend against this sort of stuff. I mean, I'm seeing a Roach one once again from Dark, so he's pretty convinced it will be Banshees again.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Banshees, Mech again. Definitely Banshees there.
A little bit of an annoying run by here. Actually forces these Hellions and Reapers to come back, but just for a second. Killing only a Marine. He saw his units were away, though, and took an opportunity. It was actually a pretty even trade. Some of these SCVs got damaged. This is a really scary push out here, though. 4 Hellions and 3 Reapers, and the rest of the Hellions that can rally across. I'm going to actually poke up here. I think
could actually do a lot of trading with those Queens. Only one has a Transfuse as well. It's like he wants to play it safe, though. He doesn't want to deal with like a mass links around, because if he loses these units, he is in a horrible place. He will lose map control. He will be constantly defending in the dark.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe he could go up and poke that hatch, but I guess with only 4 Hellions there, it's not going to be enough damage to really make it, work out. Like you said, it's too risky. Well, this game is, at this point getting into that point where we're going to see the second factory. There it is. We're going to see the 3rd base lifted fairly soon. He's checking around, making sure there's no units to spot that. With this army that he's chosen, like he's got Reapers that he can harass with it. He's actually just going to do that. Harass with these, he can scout with these. They're very mobile. So he's got like 2 small, speedy forces of units, the Hellions and the Reapers.
Yeah, look at this Hellion run by to the 3rd base at the same time this is going on.
Yep. We get a few kills here.
Oh, it's going to do a lot of damage.
Wow, a ton of kills.
Oh, even
killing
more.
Almost every single one of these drones at this base. 9. One more lineup. 10. 10 is a lot of kills.
It's a lot of kills for 3 Hellions.
Made 10 more drones, 11 more drones, so he's going to replenish that, but that's Larva spent. That makes his army weaker, which means that FanTaSy can take his 3rd base without a worry. I'm actually a bit surprised he's not trying to float that over yet, because he's scouted with these units significantly, like several times. There's no real roach threat on the map or anything like that. He was just at his base. Just playing it safe, though. Still getting the extra value from that, the mules, the extra SCVs. And just 1 armory so far.
Yeah, working on that attack upgrade. You want to get that up pretty quickly compared to everything else. Looks like he's finally going to start taking that 3rd base. No real army out in the map for Duck. He's just playing super greedy. He's trying to get that 4th base soon as well. He just wants to take it to the late game once again. He's confident that he can fight the army that FanTaSy will make. And it's going to be much of the same army. They're so far no Thors whatsoever, just simply investing in Andy Ground, tanks and Hellions, and Banshee.
Yeah. No
fear of mutas this game, it seems.
Well, he's trying to scout like all these constantly, and he hasn't seen much yet. I think what he's probably going to eventually start to figure out is there's just a lot of droning going on, especially after he replenishes those drones. I don't know if he saw the Hydralisk Den. I don't think so.
No, nothing yet. But he did see the Roach Warren at the block in the front there. So he knows at least that the Roach Tech's out there. And he's probably safe to assume that it would be like just another Andy sort of mech build with the ground army.
Yeah.
He should be a little wary of muta switches just in case. You still don't see a tart in any base.
Yeah, he's making a few Thors, but definitely turrets. Way to go. He sees Hydras now. Sees the Hydra Den as well as the Infestation Pit. So he's 100% aware now of what he's up against. 3rd base is up and running. has been for a little while now. He's actually making so many depots to make so many different types of walls. Cloak almost ready as well for Banshees. Just a bit of a lull in the action here. Hydras are moving across the map.
Yeah,
and
like
he's got a lot of roach support for them.
Yeah, you know, he could actually make something happen here. There's only 3 tanks set up at the front and 2 Thors. He wants to commit. He might be able to do some real damage.
Those Thors trying to micro back. Actually got a bit stuck. That one Thor getting so stuck. And he actually just doesn't have enough here. He just does not even have close to enough.
Whoa, he's just going to bulldoze it through.
Banshee's coming back so slow.
Well, there's still enough Hydras to deal with them for now.
If these siege tanks were in a better position, I feel like this could have been a totally different story. Look, there's even a siege tank over here to the left side that wasn't helping in that fight.
Oh, yeah. Now the Banshees want to help out, but still, Overseer remains. Enough Hydras to deal with them as well. And this third might even just be sacked.
I think he has to sack it, but I don't know if he can recover from this. He's going to lose his 4th CC. Good control on these Banshees. Like, really, really well done.
Yeah. Overseer getting pretty low at this point as well. More reinforcements coming down there.
Yeah, see, I think he might just end up dying.
I think he might.
Well, he's got a few more siege tanks, but here come the rest of the Hydras to come help out. Really good control here, really good crisis management by FanTaSy.
Still, I think it's going to cost him this third.
Definitely losing the third, and that's likely losing him the game. You can never remake mech generally anyways, and without a third base, it's basically impossible.
Yeah. And we're just going to see Vipers from this. So he's going to have like a way into the natural eventually when he's got enough energy on these Vipers for Blinding Cloud.
29 SCVs in total went down. 2 Hellion Harass. That's fancy for you. Going to come over here again, try to find something.
Might actually find stuff.
Oh, look at this. Oh, the static defense a bit too late. Oh, a few more. I wasn't paying attention. Could get a lot of kills here.
Yeah, I think he...
Well, one was really low, I guess. But
yeah, still 7 so far. Ooh.
Well, he's resecured his third base. But he's down 80 supply. I think all that Dark has to do is gather his forces together and attack that third base again.
Yeah, making 2 more Vipers, maybe a way for them.
Yeah.
Just to be safe, just to like really make it an easy engagement, but there is no way FanTaSy's going to be holding this third base when Dark decides to attack.
He's just got too much area to cover. His siege tanks are well spread. They're going to give him a good surface area, or rather a good area that's covered by their fire, like their range. It's also going to help him against Blinding Cloud, but there just aren't enough siege tanks together to actually burst down these roaches. They're all just going to die one by one as they end up getting picked off on the edge. I think. I mean, that's what it's starting to look like here.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. You know, he might even just want to abduct everything. He doesn't have to like invest in Blinding Clouds.
Yeah, that's actually a good choice.
Just kill everything.
There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Has 4 Vipers now. Just waiting for more energy, I guess.
You does not want to lose Vipers to a turret. Be careful about that. The upgrades are continuing here. Hydra speed's almost done, which is going to, well, it's not almost done, but it's on the way. It's on a super long upgrade to get. But once that's done, he's going to actually be able to engage a lot more confidently, I feel, with this composition. Look how far he spread his creep, too.
Yeah. He's in such a commanding place. He could even add a Spire, go for Brutalists at the same time. There's no way he's going to have Vikings up in time to really deal with it either. He's making some now, but they're kind of like anti-Viper Vikings before he goes back into Banshee.
I'm actually really impressed if FanTaSy's been able to survive through this. I mean, he held on and survived. I thought he was just going to roll over and die.
Yeah.
He still does not have a bank, whereas Dark has quite a bank. Found a few more Harvesters here. Actually ahead in workers, funny as that is. All right, let's see how this fight goes. These tanks are almost too well split.
Yeah.
These supply depots are going to give them some time to reposition. A few Vikings get grabbed. An interesting choice.
Nice Blinding Cloud there on a couple of the tanks.
Yep. And here comes some more abducts. Once the Blinding Cloud fades, he's going to have a lot of DPS here.
Well, these Banshees also doing a fantastic job still.
And forces to cancel on that CC, but FanTaSy survives again. Ultralisk on the way for the next step, though.
2 Ultralists. 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 2 Ul
FanTaSy just keeps using these depot walls to buy him time to reposition, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's not an easy place to engage in on tanks, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's like taking an idea of using planetary fortresses as a wall, but like making an inexpensive version that you can make on the fly pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like, look, it's going to work for him here again. It's going to buy him some time for just a few hundred minerals.
There's nothing you can do against this.
You might even want to think about, I guess, like making eBay walls with more hit points, but I guess you can't lower those, so that can be a bit of an annoyance.
You could even just make a planetary there if you had the space for it.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward with the space, and it's a bit more expensive, but
it's like impregnable after that there. Like, you get a nice setup there, tanks behind it. What are you going to do? Yeah. Very large queen count once again, as is the Dark fashion.
This is a amazing amount of crease spread too. Just looking at the mini-map, I'm like, whoa, it goes pretty far.
Nearly covering every base that FanTaSy could take.
Yeah, that's another issue. FanTaSy's starting to get mined out. Like, he's going to need a 4th base to be able to remake his units. He can't just sit here on these bases forever.
Yeah, being stuck on 3 bases like this as a mecher, like, you would want your 4th base like minutes ago, especially up against a 5-base Zerg. It's going to get a lot harder.
And Dark's ready to take a 6th whenever he wants. He's got 2 base locations. He can actually take both. I mean, both fully available to him right now.
He probably should take both, just so he has creep spread there at the very least.
See Overlord drops being researched. He might actually go drop on top of these siege tanks or something.
That'd be cool. Might as well try something at this point. I'm just going to clear the game.
Hellions definitely not getting the damage they wanted done there. And, you know, at this point, taking that that bottom left base would be ideal for FanTaSy, but he's just kind of cut off. Grabbing some Vikings, grabbing some siege tanks. Energy for units, great trade always. Especially when that energy could be replenished by attacking your own buildings.
Oh, yeah. Sucking the life out of them.
It's almost like paying money to kill a unit or something. You can just remine that later. Roach is zoned out a little bit here by these Banshees. This is just him freeing up supply, I guess. That wasn't going to do much.
Might as well at this point, Roaches get very food inefficient, I guess. In the late game like this, they're just not that useful. You want Ultras, Hydras, Queens, and by the looks of things, Broodlords in just a moment.
Yep, Corruptor's on the way. We're going to watch a Command Center die to Queens. It's going to happen. Watch this. Oh, wow, it saved it.
It's saved.
We almost saw history made today.
Yeah, we never see that. I want to see Flying Locust again. I want to see what can happen and what can't happen.
Oh, I hope we actually get to see that.
I don't know, he doesn't seem to really believe in them anymore after he made 2 Swarm Hosts. He didn't even get to use them.
You know, to be honest, like, they might be okay in this position. Like, if you think about it, like, make some of them to the north of the main base, just have them fly over there and start harassing.
I guess if they like start swooping on tanks sieged up as well, like, you're gonna find some damage there, right?
Yeah. And people haven't really experimented with them that much in Korea yet, so people are scared to use them for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have experimented and just decided that that kind of thing isn't worth it either. That's definitely something else that I just don't really know.
I'm sure the first thing everyone did when the patch came live was go for Swarm Host and see what happens. And
well, these Hellions just keep running into these spine crawlers. To be honest, Wingblade, like 3 kills here. I guess it's okay. The Viking count is, I'd say it's fairly adequate to deal with these Broodlords, but he's got to be careful about the Vipers pulling and killing the rest of those. Also, Fungals, definitely an issue.
Yeah, only 8 Vikings at this point.
Yeah, okay.
All the siege tanks are going to have to like pull back the moment they start shooting on them, because otherwise there's going to be so much friendly fire. So it's going to put them out of place at the very least, even if they eventually go down. Here we go, going to move back a little bit. Oh, he's just going to attack. Here we go.
Oh boy, here we go. There's so many Vipers here as well. Blinding Clouds on everything. And Hydras and Queens are dealing with the Vikings just fine. Look at that. That's a green Blinding Cloud map right there.
Yeah, it's a massive cleanup. And all the tanks are going down at this point.
The Broodlords didn't even really help that much. They were like lagging behind.
They're
now
killing
they're starting
SCVs.
to help. Yeah.
Well, it might be,
there's a bungle.
Nice
Queens
bungle.
and Hydras going to finish this off. And that's going to be all she wrote. Do is play like, well, I don't know, Wolf, he's up only 30 supply. Look at the bank.
The bank just says it all. It could be 32 meters in just a second as well. That's gonna
7
be
ultras.
7 ultras. All right.
He can make Mutas too. He can make whatever he wants. He still has 10 ultras. GG.
All right.
That wasn't a fantasy GG time. And who's that?
No, that was way too quick.
Wrist tearing. And on the bottom right in purple, the Zerg opponent. It's dark. Wakey, wakey.
Well played, Wolf.
To quote Moonglade.
Well played, sir.
It's funny. This has happened to us a few times before. You know, sometimes the start of games and little breaks, we all keep connected to social media if anyone's saying anything cool or whatnot.
Kind of zoning out for a second.
It's all right. These have been some long games. It's been a long day already.
Yeah, these games have been long. Fantasy just...
He won't die, man.
He won't die. Mech just doesn't die for the longest time. And Dark, he's not the type to kill them early. Unlike Bial, he wants to really go the distance and go for that late game, which is fun to see as well. I do like to see it.
Yeah. Well, we saw a few extra SCVs queued there. It looked like he was trying to show if it was a CC first or not, but it's just actually one extra SCV, which was totally normal, so there's going to be a barracks here. The Overlord gets a lucky scout and is actually going to see this right away. Good gas placement here at the top. Well, actually, it doesn't matter necessarily, because if it was horizontal and he did that, he would have seen it anyways. Just trying to make him seem more clever than he was. Like, oh, he's going to hide it from the Overlord, but...
Should have just gone with it, Wolf. I would have backed you up. Like, yeah, that's really smart. You know, he's going to delay it for as long as he can. Make it look like maybe it's a 1-Rax expand.
With no gas.
Yeah, I doubt the Overlord's going to go up there anyway, because he's going to see the racks. He doesn't know if it's going to be like a 1-Rax expand or it's going to be a Reaper opening. He'll probably just hang around the natural for the long part and just wait for that Reaper.
Like Fantasy actually adds a second gas now. He goes 2-port Banshee. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa, respect. Bringing back the old school. And he sees the racks, turns around, doesn't want to risk it. Yeah. Even though I guess Fantasy is kind of predictable, like he's been playing a lot of the same every single game.
Yeah. The thing about predictability when it comes to mech is that it's still just like pretty solid no matter what.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a killer like Bjorn will go for like very quick meter into Roach like that, it's not going to help out too much.
Or like if you, yeah, I mean that's about it. Like if you directly counter certain aspects of it, but if you're a mech player like Fantasy who plays safe and even makes like the safety siege tank like we saw last game, you're going to be safe against almost anything.
Yeah. And
your predictability won't really fault you or give you any problems. Also depends on the maps and stuff like that. Dark, definitely having all the success in the late game versus mech, just having some trouble in game 2 because he just was not taking proper engagements and his bank just kept getting depleted.
Yeah, he kind of just got outmaneuvered for the most part as well. Just constantly engaging in chokes and ugly situations. And look at the chokes on this map as well, like just outside the third and natural. This could be another very long game, Wolf.
It could be. I might have to pull a Kanata.
Yeah, do it, man. You can tag team it. I probably will have to eventually as well.
Yeah.
And we are seeing that react Marine. So this could be, you know, the Hellbat with the Medivac and a bunch of Marines. Early timing. The fact of the matter is that Dark has been playing very greedy. He hasn't been doing 2-base mutas or anything like that.
Ooh, look at these waiting lanes.
There's that starport nice and early. 2 Hellions on the way. Let's see, is it going to be Marines or is it going to be Tech Lab?
He's been really liking, skipping the Banshee in the early game. Not committing to it too much. Going multiple Hellion.
Marine production starts again, Wolf. I'm getting a sense. Spider senses are tingling that it might just be an armory. Oh, my goodness.
Well, you know, for these positions, not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice at all. We are seeing Darko for that quick third again.
Ooh, Widowmine on the way.
Okay, well, we saw this.
Yeah, we saw the exact same thing before.
Yeah, it's going to be that 6 Marine plus Widowmine drop with a bunch of Hellions to try and run by.
You notice there's a SCV next to the second gas in the main, not actually making it. It's kind of weird. Okay, now he made it. He was there for a while. So I don't want that. It's kind of important.
Hellions are grouping up, getting ready for the onslaught. Here comes that Medivac. It's going to be undetected by the looks of things. Overlord will not see it. There is not much.
There's not much, yeah. There's
8
not
lings
much
on the
here.
way there. That's going to help out a lot.
He's getting a Roach Warren, but that's going to be a ways away to be able to use. It's not even halfway done yet. This could do a lot of damage, especially if the Hellions at the front distract, which is exactly what's going to happen here.
He's going to leave the main just as they make, and here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
he doesn't even notice.
Oh, 6 go down in an instant.
You know what they say, Moonblade. Wakey, wakey.
Yes, they do, Wolf. And I
look at
gotta
this Marine
say,
condition.
Doc even attacking his own extractor. He is truly awake at this point. The mistakes have been made. He's looking a little rattled. And that Widowmine's going to get another shot off in just a second. If he targets it, it's going to get nasty.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Here we go.
boy. Oh, only 2.
Well, killed some larvae, too, I guess. But still, yeah. I might have even wanted to target those lings.
He's going to make an overseer yesterday. And he's not.
He's not making it.
He's not. He's just going to let it happen again. He's like, you know what?
Does he just not know? Was he so focused on something else? He was focused on the Hellions at the third base, maybe, when that happened.
Well, you know, FanTaSy's looking at it. He's like, well, it's time to use it again, I guess. Time to focus it down. He's going to get a good focus this time. They're all pumped up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, 3 more. 11 kills so far.
Still no Overseers making a Spore Crawler.
Making a Spore. That's just way too much damage as it is, man. That's simply too much.
That's paying money to lose another drone, basically, a Spore Crawler.
Yeah. FanTaSy's in a fantastic place, and he's going for Bio this time as well.
Yeah, he's changing it up, and with the tempo advantage that he's gotten here, he can actually really, I think, do a lot with this and just kind of parade push. And oh, is it going to shoot again? I was so close, actually. 2 more. Oh, no, I thought those were Widow Mines. 2 more Hellions, though.
Well, they're going to look for some. I don't know if they're going to find
I don't think they're going to find much. If they were Hellbats, it'd be a different story. But
yeah, it could be where they wanted to be. And the fact of the matter is, we're seeing Dark. He's going for Roach. Maybe he thinks it's going to be just another mech, but it's Bio this time. He's identified this way too late.
yeah, the second he sees that with his Roaches at the front, he's like, oh, God, and starts 1-1 for his, melee and starts a Baneling Nest. He just found out.
Yeah, this is horrible. Horrible news for Dark. He's going to have a very hard time defending against the upcoming attack.
Yeah, he's got the wrong comp. Especially once the medevac count gets up to like 4, 5, 6. Like, Roaches just don't do the DPS fast enough. Their attack speed's just too low. Good micro here on that Hellion. I'm going to take as many lings with him as possible. Yeah, I mean, FanTaSy's just geared up to do that attack right now. Stim is done. Combat shields are just now starting. He might hit with combat shields in 1-1.
Yeah, I think that would be the perfect timing for this.
Dark needs to get Baneling speed like right away.
Yeah, he does. And there we go. It's still, you know, a lot of Marauders being added to this composition, constantly 1 at least per round. So he's going to have a very healthy sort of anti-Roach army. It's going to be good against everything. It looks like he's going to actually gear up for just a big double drop.
Okay, here we go. Just about to get hit with some serious bio for the first time in this series.
Ooh, Roaches are in position there.
Yeah, that's too many Roaches.
Way too many.
So he needs to actually like pick up and react. Using a Marine only.
Could deal with the 4th base if he's paying attention.
That's exactly what he's going to do. It looks like no units nearby. Queen the only thing. Oh, he's a bit timid. Okay. He's going to kill the tumors first, but that's actually going to buy enough time for Dark to defend us, I think.
I think that's pretty important there. I actually don't mind that at all.
The base isn't even ready yet, so.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is not going to be good. That was a desperate attempt. You know, you never want to be a Zerg who's down in supply at this stage in the game.
No, absolutely. No, not against Bio especially. Like,
this is weird.
Yeah.
Those are not Banelings you're dropping on top of.
No, they're 1-1 lings. And you could start that parade push. You know, he did recede a lot of that creep at that 4th base. Kind of interesting that he did decide to take the 4th base towards, semi-towards the Zerg. I guess, sorry, Terran, but it's not that much of a commitment forward.
Now, these 6 Banelings, he's morphing to the north. They're going to run into a Widow Mine and a bunker full of Marines before they even get close to killing these units. I don't know about this, man.
No, I don't think so. It gets the bunker.
It's a bunker and 2 Marines, I guess. costing them some gas to do that. Well, just continue to push forward here, scanning down these creep tumors.
Yeah, doing pretty good work actually getting rid of a lot of these tumors. And look at that, the Corruptor style is back. Dark mixing it up once again.
That's not fan service, man. He likes it a lot.
Yep.
So many bunkers FanTaSy has back at home for this. You know, if there was like a big attack, he's ready for it.
Yeah, I think he's like really afraid of perhaps like a massive Ling Bane Roach attack.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good reason, because the longer the game goes on, the better position he's going to be in. He's got the better upgrades, he's got the better comp, and actually, I guess upgrades-wise, he's pretty even. I didn't realize that. Dark did, realize fast enough to at least get those 1-1 and hit 2-2 pretty quick.
Yeah, and I like these Corruptors, Corruptors are also fantastic at soaking up mine hits as well.
Yeah, and I mean, they can actually just fight medevacs and tank some marine hits while they're chasing them, whereas Mutalisk can't really do that because they don't have any armor, they have barely any hit points. So Corruptor's pretty good for that. Other CC being added, super far away from where he's going to eventually land it, but safer up there against this many Zerg units on the ground. I think that's fair. And we just have like a small drop going around the other side while this Bioforce is continuing to move through the middle of the map. He's done a great job of pushing Dark's creep back. Dark wants his creep to be so much closer than it is. The creep on the left side is the only creep he's really got out there, which is going to allow him to take, another base, like a 5th base towards that location, a little bit safer. So it is important that he has that, but
It's definitely important that he has creep, especially for the army that he's making. With Roachling Bane like this, you want speed on your side at the very least. Ooh, looking to try and take down this base.
Yep, this is exactly what I was talking about, that creep, giving him some more space to get these units back over here. Hold on to that.
Problem with Corruptors is they just won't catch Medivacs.
3 Widow Mines with Drilling Claws in this medevac here. We'll see if he can actually get some damage done. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, that's going to do a lot.
But he's not paying attention here. Okay, good pickup at the last second. 14 drones killed.
Corruptors are just not in position to help deal with these Medivacs either, and there's so many Widow Mines scattered everywhere outside the bases of FanTaSy.
Just going to hit this base again. Still some bio here, or rather some Banelings here. Hitting Marauders, unfortunately, though.
Oh, the last Baneling does the job. Kind of.
We could send a few more Lings over here if you multitask well. Like those Widow Mines, meanwhile, did get cleaned up at the 4th base. And we got an IVE coming up with 3-3, halfway done for FanTaSy. That's the upgrade advantage he's going to have for a while until that IVE is done. Sometimes you just don't see 3-3 ever in a Berserk player because it's so expensive.
Yeah, they stay on tier 2 for so long, especially when they're going mutas. They just want to do that Mutaling Bane style, try and trade it out and try and close it out for the late game.
There are so many Banelings on the map right now. I think he's got like 50 plus. 62.
62, man. Oh.
So
I don't know if that's even a good thing at this point.
I don't know.
There's too many mines out as well. We got about 10 mines all spread around the natural and the choke there. And FanTaSy, he's just buying time playing defensively like this. He's not afraid to just wait it out until he's got 3-3, especially if he keeps canceling this 5th base.
Yeah. And that's one thing he's focusing on. All right, Widow Mines burrow here. Dark's got to be careful. Okay, the Widow Mine hit's not very good, but there's so many more! Oh my god!
Yep, that's nearly all the Banelings gone at this point, and still a lot of bio left over.
From 62 to 15 in 0.2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. See, that's why you don't make that many Banelings. There's no use for them.
Oh, and this base is going to go down again if he targets it. No cancel, and now he's in a great position to fight these Lings with 3-3 right about to finish.
Yeah, there's no chance of that happening.
Oh, that hatch is too soon, too. He could have actually killed it.
Oh, gonna let everything get wiped out here.
Yeah, it wasn't the most efficient way to kill it with those Banelings, all those Marauders, but still not good to lose that Bioforce. Not going to be able to cancel that 5th base anymore. Continue to send these drop forces into the main, and this time there's no Corruptors to stop him. And at this point, like, he's just going to come over here.
If you can get the spawning pool with this, that is like such a big win.
Yeah, especially because he's trying to get adrenal glands.
Yeah, and 2 Marauders are going to do the trick as well. 3-3. There goes the spawning pool. That's a huge blow. That means if a fight happens any time in the near future, it's going to be so hard for Dark to remax.
Yeah. And, it's just stopping him from getting those adrenal glands. Can't make any more queens. Not like the most important deal against Bio, but still something to keep in mind. Oh, this drop isn't going to get much done. This is a huge Ling run by over here. This planetary isn't ready yet, so he's going to have to cancel and lift it. He's got a ton of Lings on the map. It's very fortunate for him considering he just lost his pool.
Yeah. 96 Lings currently.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's not the best sort of composition you want against Mass Minds either.
Ooh.
Oh.
Those hits could have been better.
Yeah.
Still a lot of damage to Roaches.
He needs to start getting rid of these Roaches, I think, at this point. The game's gone too long, and he might have to get rid of them at this point.
Okay, he's going to fight here. This is a 3-3 Terran Bio Army with very few Banelings. This is just not really going to work out too well. More medevacs, so there's only 4 of them with this army. Where are the rest of them? There's 6 more medevacs on the map. They're just not here.
Yeah.
Could have been helping out so much.
We had a drop on the far left side here.
Ah, okay.
And I don't know where the other couple are. It's like they're defending the new 4th base up top. He looks like he might actually get this 5th base again.
With +3 and 2 Marauders.
Lings are coming in there. Gonna hold on to it. He believes in the power of the Marauder.
Well, you might actually drop back in here in a few seconds. Hit it again. Oh! The mines are on cooldown. Nicely done. Fantasy's control is impressing me today.
Yeah, he's looking great. He's looking so on point.
Double drop, yeah. Over here in the main base, and that 5th is under attack. Let's scout the Ultralist transition.
Deals with the first one, and
that 5th goes down. He's got no gas. Again, this is a problem here for Dark.
yeah, investing a lot into these Ultras, it seems. It does have 3-3 there. Lings will be a little bit more efficient at this point, but FanTaSy just pulling him apart. Another great position here if he gets these mines down.
Yep, here we go. Oh boy, those mine hits were decent, but a lot of bio went down as well. He's going to have to replace that right away. Making 4 Marauders at a time, plus the Widow Mines. Widow Mines ignore armor. They just do flat damage no matter what to Ultralisk. So that's, I mean, if you get hit by enough of them, the Ultralisk is definitely going to hate that.
Yeah. Here we go. Here comes the counterattack finally. Dark going to go for this base down mid right. There's too much bio here, though, especially with these 3 mines.
Yeah, he's going to repair here. The mine's doing a lot of work. And this is just way too much bio for him to try to fight this. By the way, the 5th base goes down. He's got so much bio actually going towards that another base to the south. Like,
this is too much. He's sacking everything for this kill.
GG.
Oh, and that was capital GG. Dark is angry, as he should be, because that was a very drawn-out, frustrating game, no doubt.
This is going to be the final game of our first round of 8 match between FanTaSy and Dark. On this big 4-player map, there's a Zerg logo in the middle of the map, inspired by Moonblade's pie clip. The map maker told me that's why he put it in there.
Much love.
All right, guys, let's do this. The final game between FanTaSy and Dark to find out who moves on to the round of 4.
Dead Pixels FanTaSy 정명훈 vs SK텔레콤 T1 박영우.
The bottom right in red, it's FanTaSy of the team Dead Pixels.
To the top right, Dark.
All right, Moonblade, I hate to do this, but I'm going to pull a Kanata.
Do it, man.
I'll be right back.
Go for it. I'll cover you until then. Solo cast enabled. Hope you guys are all having fun today. If you're all watching all 10 hours of the broadcast, it is going to be a 8 best-of-5 series. Terran Terrorist FanTaSy. I can kind of agree with it after that last game, especially. You know, the way he's been playing today, he kind of just draws out every single game and plays in a very frustrating way. Even if he's losing the game, he won't leave straight away. So it does frustrate you. It does kind of terrorize you, I guess, in a way. More frustrating than anything else. And I think Dark is definitely feeling it this game. That last game must get under your skin. Not only finding any traction, no way to really attack either. Kind of just defend, defend, defend. Ling, Bane, Roach, until he just couldn't defend anymore. He started taking real damage. More fans in the audience. Their little phones. And nothing out of the usual. usual. It's going to be that 1Rex gas versus Hatch first. Probably going to be the triple Reaper opening this map. I doubt we'll see the kind of aggressive style we did see in the last game with the Marine mines. And there we go. There's that Reaper. Scout nice and early. And welcome back to Wolf. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, thanks, man. I'm feeling good. I feel a lot better now. Just looks like a standard Reaper opening.
That's right, my friend.
And
I was just talking about that, actually. Don't you worry. So I'll tell you what. I'll do the Kanata thing now, and I'll tag out. I'll be right back.
Okay. So everybody, I'm just going to basically assess this game now that I'm back and I can see it. So you'll probably hear me repeat everything Moonglade just said, but I'm going to figure this game out for myself. So looks like we're going to see like 3 Reapers from FanTaSy here. And back at the base of Dark, a bit of a quick gas, but obviously just a normal hatch timing and everything else. We're going to see this Reaper come in here, scout a little bit. They get unlucky with the scout, now sending it to the right side as he sees that Overlord. And drop the CC down as well. And as is the way of early TvZ, this Reaper is going to come in here, check and see if he can find any damage at all, even killing a Zergling. It's a good scout. It's also going to grant him safety. If he can force any more lanes to be made, like these 2 that just popped out, it's going to be 1 less drone for his opponent here. Second Reaper comes in. Dark knows how to deal with this. He's going to fight with the Queen as long as possible until it's unreasonable to do so, then pull back. All the Zerglings are always there. The second Queen on the low ground is pretty cute. Almost able to get some extra hits off there. Overlord does scout the factory on the way. Wants to see, obviously, if there's a 3rd CC. And FanTaSy's going to make it right in the face of the Overlord, in fact. So pretty important. Ooh, actually gets a full surround on that Reaper and will kill it. Jumping up here would just be a bad idea. I understand the idea. The idea is 1 Reaper gives vision, the low ground Reaper finishes it off. Welcome back, Moonglade.
Thanks, mate.
All that's happened is basically a Reaper harass. 1 Reaper did get surrounded and killed. The 3rd CC comes up right in the face of this Overlord, so he's not hiding it at all.
Right.
And a Roach Warren now is going to be the response.
Yeah, I think he might have identified that it will be mech again. You know, no tech lab on that Rax at all, just making him Marine at this point.
Yeah, FanTaSy's just showing him everything at this point.
Well, you can't really not show him anything if he goes for multiple Reaper like this, because there's just no anti-air in the Terran base until, like, you know, the Rax finally makes a Marine and not an add-on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I think it's to be expected, and it's kind of all part of the plan for now. But after this point, he's got to stop letting him see anything else. He cannot let him see that armory, for instance, or what the tech will be. And we do see a tech lab now on that rack, so it looks like it actually might be bio off the wall, just very delayed.
Well, he's got 26 lings coming towards him, so whether he's going bio or not, he needs to get a defense set up here back at home.
Oh, he's going to get up the ramp. Very important. If he can actually kill all these SCVs. You know, it's crazy because he was about to go for a Hellbat timing on the natural of Dark. This counterattack just did everything for him there.
Okay, a few Hellions do come back here, and he's always going to be able to clean up these lings pretty easily. But you know, once the Roaches come across the map, he doesn't have much of an answer for them. He's going to be fighting them with just pure Hellion.
Pure Hellbat by the looks of it, I guess,
yeah.
He's just going to have no chance there. He's making Marines, not Marauders or anything like that.
He has no idea this is coming. This is going to be his first glimpse right now. I need to turn around. He's going to pull the SCVs out, make a bunker.
Yeah, he's going to have to lift that CC and defend on the top of the ramp. There's no chance of getting this done.
SCVs need to repair here. He's just letting the SCV, or rather the orbital tank the damage. It's actually totally fine. The creamatometers need to calm down because it's actually such a smart choice to tank this.
Yeah. You're completely right, Wolf. I mean, it is in the red, it's at 300 HP, but it's not going to die, that's for sure.
Well, we have seen players make mistakes like this in the past. I guess it's warranted for them to freak out a little bit. That's a neutral depot on the ground, right?
I think that's the real one.
Oh, yeah, because there's plates there, there's rocks.
Yeah.
So that actually supply blocks him. Ooh.
Dark's simply going to transition from this.
Yeah, it's a smart choice. He's done a lot of damage, but he's never going to end the game like this.
Not if unless he made like a ton more roaches. But there's no point at this point because he has to lift that CC from the natural. He's going to get a nice economy lead there.
Reaper's trying to get in here and get some good information about how many drones have been made or whether or not he's layering. Sees the layer, sees the extra gas, sees how many drones are here at the natural. So tons of information actually gained here from these Reapers.
Now it's 51 drones to 31 SCVs at this point. So big lead for Dark. Really great early game pressure.
Yeah. These orbitals are going to help him get past this, but definitely wanted to be in a much safer position. Stim is done. It's going to be tough to actually use this for like any aggressive timing attacks.
Yeah, I think at this point especially because he's kind of just, his production just is so far behind because he had to defend so badly and he lost so much economy.
He could probably salvage that bunker he's got back at home, just get a little bit more money. But I can understand his fears. He's actually adding a bunker to the natural, which I think is better at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, FanTaSy can recover from this, but it's going to be a long road, and he's going to have to take some really good fights. He's also going to maybe have to get some harass on with these Hellions. He's committed so much to these. They help them survive, they help them defend, but they haven't been able to do anything offensively. Like killing a few tumors here and there and a roach, not enough.
No, definitely not enough at this point. Pretty scary army still for Dark. He can crush anything that comes his way for now. His follow-up is going to be similar to last game, just mass Roach, Ling, Baneling. 1-1 Roach speed on the way and Baneling speed on the way. If you can go for a good engagement before maybe too many Medivacs are out on the map, you might be able to just wipe him out.
Yeah. Fourth base coming up for Dark. Pretty quick after his third. I like this, though, because he's got total control over FanTaSy. FanTaSy can't even take a third right now. He's very defensive. Scan goes down here. I suppose maybe trying to see if he's going to go for a big attack or, you know, just any information he can gather, but that's one of the most likely thing he was looking for here. Cancel just a little depot repositioning so he doesn't block his own gas while he's building it.
And here comes the first double drop. This is the one weakness of the Ling Bane Roach, just not enough anti-air. So Medivacs kind of rule the sky for now. Constantly drop wherever there's nothing. And cause a lot of problems.
He sees this. He's got plenty of resilience here. Maybe tough to actually commit to this. Kind of cost him maybe an Overlord. One of those spotters, but the creep spread also sees this.
Yeah, you can get a nice scan down, start reseeding that as well. He's going to start trading out with these units, and you can actually do pretty well against these Lings at least.
Yep. Probably want to pick up pretty soon. There he goes. There's a cooling tower over there. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if killing that could actually allow him to do a little bit more stuff with this.
Yeah, you know, it's going to definitely cut off the sort of the choke point.
He could just fly over that and retreat behind it whenever he has issues.
I'm sure you're going to see that actually. You know, even a tank on this map would be ruthless. Like
I think he actually wanted to kill it. I think he misclicked.
Maybe.
I actually didn't even realize that tower was there.
And we are seeing the Corruptor style once again, actually. Dark going to remain strong on this. He's convinced that the style will work. Ooh, look at this pickup. Now he can just pick up into the fourth base, and this is the power behind, well, the weakness behind Ling Roach.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the bigger reasons why we just don't see it very often outside of the Dark.
Yeah, and then if you even keep in mind like how just useless roaches are once there's enough medevacs out on the map because they do damage so slowly, the medevac heal rate is just too quick. Whereas like a unit like a Baneling does so much burst damage that it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Here comes a Baneling roll by. This time much more poised to do much more success than the ones we saw last game. But a quick reaction. How many is he gonna get? 4? 3? 3.
Very nice reaction. That was so important.
That was insanely quick reaction time. Oh my god.
He could have lost so much.
$28 Banes on the way. Dark is getting ready to be aggressive. How many Widow Mines are there? Is that it? Just 2?
I think 4 currently.
Okay, 4.
Yeah, 4.
Ooh, and they just got triggered in the worst possible way. 2 of them.
Yeah, looks like he's going to definitely gear up for the attack here. Dark ready from all angles at this point. This could be the finishing blow. There is a lot of Hellbats in this mix, though, and Marauders.
Oh, look at that. Making sure the Widow Mines don't get triggered. That's so important. 2-2 about to finish.
Here we go.
It's finished for Dark for like 3 seconds earlier than his opponent. A really good split here. And a ton of wings streaming through. Even with the Hellbats, it looks like he might just have way too much. The roaches in the back are going to be too tanky. They can't even burrow his Widow Mines here. This is just too much damage already. Yep. And the roaches are pushing their way through it. Corruptors are going to finish off all these medevacs. I think that's just going to be it.
I think that's it, Wolf. Just way too much. Beautiful timing, like seconds before that 2-2 was finishing. And every medevac will be finally cleaned up from these Corruptors as well. And there's no coming back when there's units camping your production line.
That's going to be it. FanTaSy will be defeated. A good run in this tournament. A very impressive series against Dark.
Not to mention he beat Zest yesterday.
Yeah.
That in itself is massive. GG.
Dark's moving on to the semis. Very long, very sick series that we just watched there.
That was like a 2-hour series or something.
Yeah, it was great.
Man, what a big one.
And that'll be a very, very fun series to watch. And FanTaSy